live from the virtual Road America here in the beautiful iRacing simulation. Welcome, sim racing fans, to the official Apex Racing Academy F3 Championship live on Apex Racing TV. I'm your host, Joshua Lee. Joining me in the commentary booth is Alessandro Dalladone with Marco Barbonera down in the production trailer. And Alessandro, last week we saw some incredible action at Detroit Belle Isle. Now we transition over to a racetrack that is completely different from what we had last week in Detroit. Last week it was, tight corners, 90 degrees. These are wide sweeping corners, huge elevation changes. This is going to be an interesting race for these guys.
Oh yeah, for sure, Josh. We don't really move much from Detroit. We stay in the US for another amazing round in the official F3 series. Completely different track, as you were saying, but I think we will be having another exciting race. Plenty of new drivers also joining us, like former DTM driver Daniel Juncadelia. But remember that we also have a championship on the table for the broadcast championship, which we will have a look in a few seconds. So these new drivers will obviously fight for their overall iRacing championship, but also will try to grab some points in our own broadcast championship. As you can see, Luca Albon is our race leader, our championship leader, in front of Gianfranco Pagotto. Albon winning many races during the season so far, and Pagotto on the other side being super consistent. They have absolutely dominated the field so far. Joshua, over 40 points is the gap between P2 and P3 in the standings.
And Pagotto last week in Detroit was able to grab his first win of the season. So he went from consistent to now being at the top of the leaderboard in a race, and he's going to try and do that again here today in Road America. And that gap closing between him and Albon, as Luca Albon had a little bit of a rough go at Detroit last week. He dropped a couple of points, so he's now at 108, only 6 points ahead of Gianfranco Pagotto. Rest of the drivers down: David Holland, Carl Modon, Francesco Miola. Definitely still close to the championship fight, but it's going to be a fight between Albon and Pagotto all the way to the end. We have another week in this series where I believe both of them are in this race. Or it looks like, yeah, they are. Gianfranco Pagotto and Luca Albon both here, and they both are qualified third and fourth right now. They are close together on the timesheets.
Absolutely. I'm expecting a great battle and a nice Slipstream Festival today here at Road America. I always keep swapping the names of these tracks, even after 6 years. My God. But at the same time, I absolutely expect also a lot of problems with dirty air, because I think some of the drivers may also have gone maybe a little less downforce on this track, Josh.
We'll have to see. We saw some exciting Road America action in the Road to Indy series here on Apex Racing TV just the other night. And it seemed like there was some exciting racing, a little bit of carnage early on, but they got it cleaned up, and it was actually a really good race to the finish in that series as Daniel Juncadella hops to the top. There goes Carl Modon now up to the top at 157.577. Solid, about 2.5 tenths quicker over Juncadella. David Holland comes across the line. He's in third. We're taking a look at Tom Eric Vall. He comes across the line. He'll drop down into 17th, now 18th on the timesheet, as Connor Wagner puts in a time up into 7th as we take a look at Rod Clinard for Delta Sport U4K coming across the line for the first time to finish out his first timed lap. 28 drivers signed up, and it looks like all of them are on the track trying to get in some laps. And not a great time from Clinard, a 158.843, about 1.265 seconds off of the pole time currently. He's going to need to try and get a better lap on his second one if he goes out for one more. Marcus G comes across the line trying to improve, and he will, albeit slightly. He'll move up into 21st from 26th.
Yeah, De Recho is one of the latest drivers having to finish his qualifying effort. He moves up to 20th place right now. Look how close is the field. 26 drivers out of 28 in 1.3 seconds. This is extraordinary. The level in this field is amazing. Almost 4K is the cutoff for this event, so I must say this is probably one of the highest strength of field races we had so far this season.
When you look at who's in those times, it's, you know, Holland, Dunn, Albon, Pagoda, Wagner, Herbino. You can go as far as Curly Kitsis, Miola. These guys are really, really fast, and they know how to race as well. They're not coming out here racing, making, you know, hitting other cars, trying to race close. They know how to race close. So we can expect some good midfield battles from those guys, as qualifying will go ahead and finish on up. We take a look at the starting grid. Karl Modoff, fastest of the rest here in the 157, 1577. He's going to start on the pole with Daniel Juncadella in second, David Holland third, Alex Dunn fourth. Luca Albon rounds out your top 5 with Gianfranco Bagoto, Connor Wagner, Christoph Herbino, Stratos Kurlikitsis, and Francesco Miola rounding out your top 10. Paulo Drayton in 11th, Adrian Falcon in 12th, Felipe Dantas 13th, Marcos Luzio 14th, with Flavio Dantas rounding out your top 15. Thiago Spencer 16th, Marcos Zippoli 17th, Hjol Garanforce in 18th, Diego Acevedo in 19th, with Carlos Derecho rounding out your top 20. Tom Eric Volt, Marcus G, Jose Kaplan, Victor Osset in 24th, Rod Clinard, Max Bortolotta, Dominic Kortum, and Kenzie Newolf will round out your 28 cars, ready to take the green here at Road America. Alessandro, very different track, a lot of the same names. Are you expecting a lot of the same racing we saw in Detroit? We saw a great battle towards the end there for the finish.
Oh, absolutely. I expect battles all over the field from start to finish. Obviously, being the draft is gonna be key for these drivers that maybe have slightly less pace than the people in front. But at the same time, I think also after the first 2-3 laps where tires will come to temperature, it's gonna be difficult to make some passes work, except in the big braking zones.
Well, we have been previewing a lot of slipstream battles and a lot of long trains of cars. We've seen it before in this series about battles of 3 or 4 or 5 going on at once. And I think we're going to see a lot of the same of that today. But Modoff is going to lead the field into turn number 1 with Juncadella to his outside. The lights are going to come up. They go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 red lights. Let's go racing from Road America. Great start for Karl Modoff. He's going to take an early lead. Daniel Juncadella now on his outside trying to hold on. Here comes David Holland. He's going to try and take over second on the inside. Behind him, it's Albon waiting in the slipstream. Modoff is going to be clear going into turn number 1. They're side by side for second, but on the inside, it's David Holland with an advantage. Now 3 wide. Here comes Alex Dunn in the 7, fighting his way in the middle, 3 wide. He's going to take over third place, is going wide. Daniel Juncadella is going to fall to 4th, now feeling pressure from Luca Albon trying to take over that spot.
Very good start from everybody. Now still side by side between Luca Albon and Juncadella, struggling in these opening corners. Here we come to this particular corner, which always puts drivers under big pressure in turn 1, in the lap 1. We see some drivers go wide in the back, but look at this great action.
Alex Dunn, a man on a mission right now. He is looking to break his way into that top 2. He's behind 2 Delta Sport U4K drivers, Modoff and Holland, 2 teammates in the 6 and the 3, as they go through turn number 5 down through after the Moraine sweep and into the long sweeping turn 9, the carousel. They're going through. You're seeing the slipstream already coming to advantage as they went from 2 wide going up through turn 5 and 6. Now it's a pretty much straight line, single file, trying to get a grab. I think I saw a spin in the back.
Yeah, it was Marcus Lufio, I think, going backwards into the tire barriers. As we look at Dan and also Pagotto and Wagner fight in this backstretch, which always provides plenty of passing opportunities. But look how the field is still stuck together, although we had some amazing battle already up front and in the midfield. Holland now is going to defend on Dan for 2nd place, but he will still have some big slipstream from Carmona.
Daniel Juncadella started in 2nd. He fell 3 spots down into 5th. Now as we have a battle for the lead brewing, here comes David Holland. He had a great run and he's going to take over the spot, but look at Alex Dunn in the 7. He's now going to hop into 2nd by using that slipstream from the 3. He was able to grab the spot with him. Now he goes for the lead and he's going to take it, put the 7 up to the point.
Great opportunity move by Alex Dan in turn 1, getting now the lead, but obviously now we will have to defend from the slipstream effect, and the car Molov looking to pass him on the outside. It seems like he is already up front, but he will have all the way around, and Alex Dan sticks to P1.
So Dunn keeps P1. Modov and Holland now going side by side, and taking that spot is going to be Carl Modov. Juncadella goes side by side with Albon. One car spins. That's Connor Wagner for Delta Sport U4K in the 17.
Yeah, Draeta got almost involved. He got away with only a few position loss. Meula and Dantas profiting from that unfortunate event, but here up front we can't even find the correct images because there are fights all over the track. As also another driver has some issues is Victor Osset from Spain, dropping down the order all the way now in 26th place.
On board with Juncadella in the 1 as he makes his way down the kettle bottoms into turn 12, Canada corner. And you can see this top 4 running so close together right now as Alex Dunn leads them. Ahead of Modov, Holland, Juncadella, Albon in 5th, but here comes Christoph Herbino in the 5. He goes to the outside, some slight contact maybe between those two. Looks like they got it all figured out. No damage to either of those cars, but Herbino is going to make his way up into 5th. Albon down to 6th as we have a battle now brewing up for the 3rd position between Holland and Juncadella. It looks like Juncadella tried to go too wide going up the hill. Didn't really work well. He's going to use the slipstream down the front straightaway. Will he go for a move in turn 1? Doesn't look like he will. Modov, but is going to take the lead, however, down a move on the front straightaway. So Dunn's now back into 2nd. Back up in front is Carl Modov, back where he started this race. You can see these front battles are still going on. They've been going on since the drop of the green flag, as Alex Dunn is still on that back wing looking to get the lead back from Carl Modov. Down into turn number 5. Is going to go for it. Yes, he does. Down to the inside goes Alex Dunn. He's going to grab the lead back. Barely, though. Maybe a foot between those cars as they come to the corner.
Great move by Alex Dunn again under braking, showing his class as we have a battle here for 13th place with Tripoli losing a position on Joel Grandforce. His Ferrari painted F3. But something we have to keep an eye on, apart from these great battles in the midfield and also at the back with now Kortum and Newhoff fighting for 23rd position, is the gap between Juncadella and Luca Albon, because that argy-bargy between Herbino and Albon for 5th place opened up a gap that might not close that easily. It's already 1.5 seconds if they lose the draft, and these guys calm down a little bit and don't fight too much, this gap will not be closed, maybe.
Still using that slipstream is Daniel Juncadella. He's trying to gain his way back up through the field. He is currently in 4th. You're on board with him as you look up on Dunn, Modov, and Holland, your current top 3. It looks like they've kind of spread out a little bit more now, calmed down slightly, but you can see just how close they get on these straightaways as the slipstream is so powerful. So 158.448 is run by Alex Dunn, and he's going to get passed now by Carl Modov. Modov goes back to the lead. Juncadella not able to take over 3rd place from David Holland. And the battle between Herbino and Albon is still going on for the 5th position. Herbino has it right now, but Albon is behind. Last time by for each of these cars was a 159.01 for Herbino, 158.94 for Albon. As here goes Alex Dunn, trying to take the lead back in the same place he did last time by. Take it the lead back in turn 5, and that's exactly what he's going to do. He does it earlier this time, gets the pass made before he even commits to the corner. We have another battle going on for 11th place. That's Miola going wide. Paulo Dreta on the inside now. So that's Fabio Dantas going wide, and this is the 10 of Francesco Miola on the inside. And here comes the 4 of Fabio Dantas. He takes P number 10. And more battles going on further back. Everybody's sort of in a battle right now throughout the field.
Absolutely, as we see Dreta go a little bit wide, right in front of Grandforce for 12th position. And something I want to bring up Joshua, since at the top of the field we see plenty of Delta Sport U4K drivers. Is it possible that maybe Herbigno will try to slow Albon down a little bit and not allow him to catch back to the lead group? This is due to my professional background in cycling, so teammates usually always try to help each other whenever possible to not bring some contenders up top.
That could very well be happening. Since we're seeing that they're now 2 seconds back from that lead pack, with Alex Dunn now leading, and here goes Carl Modolf taking that lead back just like clockwork now. But Juncadella was able to get by David Holland, put Daniel Juncadella in the one, now up into 3rd place. But that is very well possible. But Albon got by, so now he is in 5th, Herbino in 6th. We'll see how hard Herbino tries to and get that spot back, as Albon's now in 5th, trying to focus ahead to catch those cars in front. That gap is not that big, but with the slipstream, I think he might be able to get back up to it. But these guys are running so fast. Last time by, the fastest lap on the racetrack was 1:58.26, and that was rammed by Herbino. The Herbino can take that spot back if he tries. Speaking of taking the spot back, here's Alex Dunn going back for the lead on Carl Modolf. This has been the same, the lap 3, lap 4, and now back on lap 5, where Modolf takes the lead coming down the front straightaway, going into turn 5. Alex Dunn takes it back, leads the rest of the lap. It's like clockwork right now. They're doing a tango on a dance floor as they continue to race up at the top. But we're taking a look at Marco Zipoli right now in the 20, in the thick of a battle between him, Paulo Dreta, Joel Grandfors, Carlos Derecho, Felipe Dantas. They're all in a little 4 or 5 car battle right now as they make their way through the carousel.
Absolutely great racing so far today here at Road America, as now Juncadella looking at the inside of Karl Modolf, but he goes back into single file. I think these drivers up front, at least during lap 4, I think I spotted Modolf easing up the throttle, entering the tight left-hander after the front stretch. Are also trying to swap draft a little bit. You see always Modolf go by on one straight and then Dunn come back into the lead on the second one. They might be trying to open the gap behind.
Juncadella in the draft from Carl Modolf. These three are running so close together now. Can Juncadella try and go for a pass for the lead? He's going to take over 2nd place. Dunn's going to fall to 3rd. Modolf takes the lead, but now Alex Dunn has another car in front of him that he hasn't had the last couple of times by turn 5. Now he has Juncadella to deal with in front of him. Alex Dunn has been able to lose the lead on the front straightaway, then take it back coming down the Moraine sweep into turn 5. Now he has one extra car ahead of him. How is this going to deal for Alex Dunn as he goes back into turn 5? Is he going to go for a move on Juncadella to take over 2nd place? He's going to make a look to the outside, but he's not going to have enough momentum out there. Now Herbino sits in 4th. So that's David Holland in 3, sitting in 4th. He's joined this fight, but Herbino and Albon are also now in this fight. Make this a 5-car, almost 6-car fight for the lead right now here at Road America. We're not even halfway done with this race. A heated battle for the lead and a heated battle closer back. This is between Dreta, Zipoli, Grandfors, and Derecho that we just checked in on the last lap. Looks like submissive wing damage for Joel Grandfors. What happened to that car? He's going to have no rear downforce. He's going to try to work his way through the carousel. I'm not sure how he lost that wing.
I don't know either, but he will definitely have to come down to pit road because that car is very unstable and he's around, and he graciously touches the wall, but I am afraid that this is a race over for Grandfors. I saw Zipoli also having some issues earlier on in the lap in this fight, giving Dreta a little bit of advantage, but hard racing all over the field, and look at where our 2nd place driver in the broadcast championship is 9th place with Gianfranco Panotto. I don't really recall seeing that deep in the field in the entire season.
He's going to work his way onto lap number 7. Currently sits in 9th in a small battle with Adrian Falcon in the 8th. And this is the battle for 8th place. Back up to the front, though. Luca Albon is able to take that spot on Christoph Herbino, but Albon to 5th. Herbino's not done yet, though. He's going to go side by side, wheel to wheel through the corner, and he's going to take that spot right on back Albon not done yet though, as he's going to go for another move down the straightaway through the Moraine Fleet. The racing down to turn number 5, which seems to be one of the main passing zones on this racetrack. Right as I say that, here goes Juncadella going for the lead down the inside, and he's going to take it before he even commits to the corner. So Juncadella takes the lead. Now Modov, Dunn, Holland, and Herbino is your top 5, as Alex Albon stays in 6th, Stranos Kurlikits is 7th, Adrian Falcon 8th, Gianfranco Bagoto 9th, and Flavio Dantas rounds out your top 10. As we take a look at a battle between Bortolotta, Kenzie Nuoff, and Tom-Eric Vall, making their way up the hill into turn 6.
Yeah, we are looking right now at the biggest movers of the race, with Kenzie Nuoff plus 9 position and Max Bortolotta plus 8, and 2 position in front also Rod Kleiner in the 12 car plus 9. So this guy starting at the back, profiting from some misfortunes of drivers ahead and making up some places on their own, as we see some issues between Albon and Herbino fighting for position. They lost again the draft. This is a key moment in the race, because we are already halfway through and they will have to do everything again from scratch.
Taking a look at Francesco Miola in a battle with Flavio Dantas for the 10th position. What you were saying there, Alessandro, with Albon and Herbino now being further off the draft and off the pace from those front guys, that is going to come into play, because we are now over halfway through this race, and it's already going to be enough for Albon to really get by Herbino, but once he does, he needs to catch the cars in front. It was already a challenge doing that before. Now it's even a further gap. It's going to be even more of a challenge now if he tries to do that. As we're back up to the battle for the lead. Juncadella goes off track a little bit, right back on. That's going to sacrifice a little bit of speed. David Holland sits in 4th. He's looking for 3rd. So he's going to make his way over to the left side of Daniel Juncadella. And Alex Dunn makes his way to the inside of Carl Modov, and he takes the spot going into turn number 5. Holland not able to get any more from that move. He stays in 3rd. Now on 2nd place, Carl Modov right up ahead of him. Will he go for a move? Not going to go for it through turn 6. Next major passing zone is looking to be around turn 7. Is he going to go for it? Now as they head down into turn number 8.
And these drivers might, in these laps, also start to think about a bit of strategy on how to approach the last few laps due to this very strong slipstream. Do you want to be in the lead coming at the kink on the last lap, Joshua, or do you want to be in 2nd place to have a much better top speed?
If these battles go all the way to the end, that is definitely going to be a big thing these guys are going to start to think about, because of that strategy that you were talking about. It really seems like this front pack sort of doing dances each lap. They're, trading back, you take the lead, one person takes the lead, and then next lap another person takes the lead. And they're kind of just rotating through these top 4. Somebody's going to have to try and defend at some point. Just when will that point come? So we go on to lap number 9, 6 laps to go. Time is running out for these drivers. Now they're going to need to start to think about, how much am I willing to risk to win this race? What am I willing to do as the 3 car almost takes a shot from Alex Dunn in the 7? He swerved to avoid it, but he's going to take the spot. Modov and Holland your top 2, with Dunn and Juncadella 3rd and 4th. We're 3 wide on the front straightaway for a moment. That was Paulo Dreta and Marco Zippoli going right on by Carlos Derecho.
Yeah, great fights in this midfield today, with Zippoli, Dreta and Derecho always fighting from lap 1. That I can remember. They never been separated by more than half a second. Also Paulo Dreta right there fighting, as we have some teamwork, I think, between Delta Sport drivers. As you saw on the start-finish straight, Modov moved on the right side of the track to give his teammate the draft and ruin Dan draft. As we have an off, and it's Paulo Dreta in the 14 car. The Brazilian driver is coming back on track after meeting some grass and dust at the exit of this treacherous corner. and indeed he went around. Thankfully his car should be still okay. There was a little tap from the Wave Italy car of Marco Zipoli, but that is a valuable time loss, and in fact he finds himself now in 23rd place. Look at these gaps though, Josh. We have only 23 seconds for 23 drivers.
Everybody running so close together, and we expected that when we previewed everything going on, and it's really just what's happening on the racetrack is all the slipstream that they're going through, all the drafts that are coming off of each of these cars. You're able to keep up a lot in front of you, and that's Carlos Derecho in the 20, slow into the grass, but a huge fight for the lead brewing. Here goes Alex Dunn back to the lead. Holland's not done with it though. Here comes the 3, now to the inside. They're side by side as well for the 3rd spot. Giancadella's gonna take over 3rd, Modoff down to 4th, and like we were just talking about, these gaps being so close, they're just trading spots up here in the top 4. Who's gonna try and protect the lead first?
Absolutely, look at these battles. I think we might go 3 wide. The drivers carefully back out of that, but Dan has to go wide. Giancadella was so close that Dan preferred to go straight at the hairpin to avoid any contact and ruin his race. Dan losing plenty of position. Let's look at the replay. You can see Dan moving on the right, Giancadella closing in very, very fast on both drivers. Going a little bit deep, trying to look in the middle, and Dan promptly moves out of it to avoid any carnage.
Back up live to the front of the lead, as it is David Holland up front. Now Giancadella, Modoff, your top 3, with Alex Dunn falling down the order, now in 6th. Luca Albon sits in 4th. He was able to get by Christophe Herbinot, and he's back in this fight, albeit a little too far back maybe to do anything right now, but time is running out. They're gonna have 4 laps to go when they come across the line, but he still has time to try and catch up to the cars in front of them. Can Albon do that is the question. As these guys continue to race on, they'll go on to lap 11 this time by. Times keep climbing, getting faster. A 157.6 last time by. A 157.6 is the fastest lap from David Holland. A 158.12 last time by. We'll see how these lap times compare coming across the start-finish line once again. But here's Albon still battling with Herbinot, but he sees cars in front of him. He's going to push Herbinot down to the wall. They're side by side coming down the front straightaway for the 5th spot. There goes Christophe Herbinot, takes over 4th. Luca Albon now down to 5th. As we take a look at Alex Dunn, he's in 6th with some pressure from Stratos Kurlikitsis behind.
That was extremely close by Ervinho. He scraped the inside wall and got away with it. Now he will have the draft of car mode of his teammate, while Giancadella is looking at the outside of David Holland to get the P1, but there's no way to go through here, and he will look now at the switch back on exit.
Oh, and there's the switchback completed. There goes the 1 of Daniel Giancadella back up to the lead. 4 laps to go. They race their way through turn 7. Down the straightaway into turn 8. This top 5 now so close together. Only about 1 second separating this top 5. Each one of these cars has a chance to win this race. And they're going to come across the line this time by 3 laps to go. This is the moment for any of these drivers to make a move for the win. Question is, when will they make it, and will they have enough time to defend behind them? As they come back down the straightaway through the kettle bottoms, they'll go into Canada corner. Another huge passing zone. Will we see a pass for the lead? It looks like Holland's going for it. Up there at the front, he's going to take the spot. Giancadella's back into 2nd.
Great pass by Holland. In the meantime, I also want to mention that we had some issues, I think, in the back of the field, because we have quite a few drivers back on pit road right now. Paleta, Sebedo, G, Derecho, everybody on pit road. As we look at Giancadella, I think not really willing to take the position.
Looks like he might have been trying to buy some time, as he's going to go for it down the front straightaway. 1 car coming out of pit road. They're going to have to narrowly miss it, but they do. and Modoff is going to take over second place using that lap car to his advantage, but a switchback from Juncadella. He's going to go for the spot. Herbino now trying to hold off Luca Albon. 3 Delta Sport U4K drivers in the top 5 right now. Juncadella and Albon, the only 2 not a part of Delta Sport U4K up in the front.
A great battle now. Ola moving towards the left side of the road to give his teammate a little bit of draft. He moves back onto second place, and now we will see what's the strategy of Delta Sport U4K, because obviously having 3 drivers in the top 5, they can do something together and try to outrun Luca Albon and Daniel Juncadella. Obviously having some help from teammates in this particular track is gonna be key.
Here's a replay. Looks like this is of the incident that you were just talking about, Alessandro, with multiple cars in pit road. And there it is, definitely. Paulo Dreta flies into that mess, and it looks like it was Diego Acevedo up ahead. Wild crash coming out of turn number 1.
Absolutely. These are things we absolutely do not want to see, but unfortunately, when you're racing hard, accidents happen. In the meantime, Modov still defending from the Spanish driver, looking to close the gap on his teammate. He will have a lovely draft here on the start-finish straight. You can see here also the lap time comparison, but I think today it's not really meaning a lot, Josh. Everyone has been running together from the start to the finish.
2 laps to go. A 1:57.521 ran last time by David Holland. He's trying to get a gap between him and the cars behind. Herbino gets run off track by Albon. Luca Albon runs Herbino out of room. Look at this battle back here. Further back, though, this is the battle for 6th between Kurla Kitsis and Alex Dunn, who went off track a couple of laps ago. Now falling down the order, he's battling for 6th place. But look behind it. That's Pagodo, that's Falcon, that's Dantas, all battling back here in these last 5 spots in the top 10. This is a very close battle. Here goes Alex Dunn back to the inside through the corner. 1 car locks up on the outside. He's going to run the 9 car. Stratos currently gets us out of room. He's still on the inside as they make their way through turn 5.
Great racing between these guys. Behind them, some issues for Marco Zipoli moving down the order. But what a race so far, Josh. Great, amazing, aggressive racing as with this F3 we are always used to see from the start to the finish from the top guys, but here in the midfield has been a blast.
Seems like we have had battles everywhere on this racetrack, and we usually say that, but really we've always been focusing on a battle. Bortolata's in the grass with Marco Cipoli in the 20 as well. 2 Italians wreck coming through. It looks like the exit of turn 8 going into turn 9. Unfortunate for those 2 drivers, but here they come through the final corner. These are your leaders: David Holland, Carl Modoff, Daniel Juncadella. One final opportunity for each of these guys. Juncadella goes off track, gets loose. The 2 Americans stay 1-2, but here comes Juncadella with a good run on Modoff. White flag is in the air. One final time around Road America. A tire tap between these 2. Juncadella inside, outside Carl Modoff. They race for second place, but Modoff's gonna keep second for now as they come out of turn number 1 on the white flag lap. A huge battle going on back here for 6th. Kurla Kitsis keeps the spot, but multiple cars scrapping for any remaining spots.
Very smart move by Juncadella there to not try the pass on Modov, because it could compromise the race for both drivers, as Albon now profits from a bad exit from the Spanish driver and gets up to P3, the highest he has been today. So great driving by Albon, who goes wide and bounces on the curves. That is always very, very tricky, and loses P3 again on Juncadella.
Side by side once again. Albon running him out of room. A little bit of contact between the 2. Daniel Juncadella makes contact with Luca Albon. He's going to take over the 3rd spot. Gets a little loose coming out of turn number 8. Will Albon be able to take that spot back? We move back to the battle for 9th. That's Flavio Dantas and Gianfranco Pagotto. Dantas trying to get by now. Alex Dunn ahead of him for the 8th spot, and Pagotto's trying to get by Dantas for the 9th spot. Back up to the lead. They're going to make their way through Canada corner, very close to the end of this lap. Holland has an 8/10 gap, the biggest gap we've seen between first and second all day between the two teammates for Delta Sport U4K, Holland and Modoff. Through Canada corner now. Oh, contact between Dantas and Alex Dunn. A bad day turned worse for Dunn. He's in the wall, damaged in the 7, but across the line, David Holland is going to win at Road America. Modoff second, Juncadella brings it home third. Albon and Herbino battling for the remaining spots. 4th and 5th they take, and a last lap pass across the line. Falcon 6, Kurlik hits his 7th. What a finish!
Great finish, great drag race for 6th place as we watch still the drivers coming to the start-finish line with a new of getting 12th place on Felipe Dantas, and here Alex Dunn, that unfortunately for him, after fighting for the lead for most of the time, he got collected in that incident. He lost the leading train to avoid the incident, but unfortunately got in it anyway, as here we look some other drivers, Tripoli in 18th place, trying to crawl to the start finish line, moving all the way to block a bit drivers, but unfortunately his car is too damaged, and Jose will get him for 18th.
Man, what a race from Road America. Before we get to these replays, I do want to mention, if you're in this race, we really do want to talk to you because of all the stuff that happened during this race. So if you're in this race, especially if you finish top 5, make sure that you head to our Discord. You can get the link to it in our YouTube chat. So make sure if you're on the stream right now, head over there and join our Discord. If you're in this race, specifically top 5, top 10, we do want to talk to you for an interview post-race. So make sure that you join our Discord, hop into one of our waiting rooms, and we'll make sure to get to you. And Alessandro, we had a replay from Marcus G. Now we into the replay between, it looks like the wreck between Zipoli and Bortolotta.
Unfortunately, having some issues. Oh, here we are. Let's see Zipoli with Bortolotta, the two Italians colliding together. Too hot in the corner, and then we have a flying car, unfortunately, from Tom Eric Foll, I think. I spotted number 18 on that car. And here we have another battle with Dantas and Dan. The 4-car taps Dan. Very unfortunate race for Alex Dunn. Absolutely. He had a great pace, but in the end, the result didn't really show what he was capable of.
Another replay. This is Fabio Dantas. And he made that contact with Alex Dunn. And it looks like Dunn made a move to try and block. Dantas overcorrected into the grass. And here they go through Canada corner. Looks like just late braking. He tried to make a move down to the inside, made it too late, and contact with that front and rear wing sent Alex Dunn around through turn 12 in the 7. Unfortunate for Alex Dunn. He was having a great day. We saw him battling up with those front guys and then ended up further back and ending his race in the wall. And look at this last lap pass for Pagotto. He tried to get it pulled, and he did by about a tire length. What a run for Pagotto. That put him up into 9th, up into, I believe, 8th place. Put Dantas down into 9th. So what a day here from Road America. And just Alessandro, I mean, we talk about battles throughout the field with the F3 cars. I don't think we've seen just as many battles as we did today, and as many cars in these battles as we saw today.
Absolutely. This race was absolutely amazing. We've seen a great race at Detroit last week, but also here at Road America, we were delighted with some amazing racing. Here are the results of today's race with David Holland and Kart mode of Delta Sport U4K double today. For these guys, a textbook job. Third place for Daniel Juncadelia, number one of the room, joining us today in this broadcast race. Fourth for Luca Albon, extending the lead on Gianfranco Pagotto. Fifth, Christophe Herbigno, followed by Falcon Kirlaktis, Pagotto, Dantas, and Francesco Meola. 11th place for Rod Kleiner, followed by Kenzie Newhoff, our biggest mover of the race, started all the way back in 26th place. Felipe Dantas, 13th. Spencer Kortum, Alex Dunn, very unfortunate today, followed by Bortolotta, Victor Osse, Marco Zippoli, Connor Wagner, Tom Eric Foll, Marcun G, and then drivers with some issues and retirements. Acevedo, Draeta, Kaplan, Derecho, Granfors, and Marcos Lucio, who unfortunately had a treacherous exit early on in the race in lap 1.
Well, it's time for post-race interviews, and we do have a good handful of drivers to talk to. We're going to start with your race winner, David Holland, in the 3. David, welcome to the commentary box. First of all, what a race out there from you, especially here at Road America. Talk about that race as a whole.
Yeah, hey Josh. Man, I'm sweating from head to toe right now. That was incredibly intense. And luckily clean for the most part. You know, it takes quite a bit to really be clean and race close like that around Road America. So hats off to everyone that was driving up there in the front. Some really good racing. Super excited to get the win. You know, there for the first half, I was kind of just feeling it out, making sure I didn't lose the draft. Didn't want to do anything too crazy. Didn't want to defend too much. Then we got halfway and I was like, okay, I'll start taking some spots if I can. And if I had to go, I was like, all right, now we're going to start defending if we can. And everything just worked out and came together and wound up winning. So super happy about it.
And playing it safe is a little bit of an understatement, in my opinion, there, because it felt like you and especially Alex Dunn were kind of trading back and forth a lot. And all of you guys up in that top 4 or 5 were trading spots back and forth. Was it just trying to get a feel for the car, or were you battling for position and trying to keep it and you just couldn't defend from the runs coming behind?
I think all of us knew that we weren't going to be able to really defend much. You know, and there was a couple times where we were kind of 2 by 2 making passes, and you know, everyone was definitely playing it cool, using their head. But yeah, I don't think any of us thought that we were really getting in position and sealing the deal until we were in the last few laps.
And in those last few laps, what was your strategy to try and defend behind you? We saw you get out in front and really build a gap. Was there anything to building that gap, or was it just how it naturally happened at the end of the race that made you secure that win?
I think it was kind of just how it naturally happens. I mean, you know, Daniel had a ton of speed. I think we were a little bit quicker than him in the straight line. So he really had to get a good run to really make a pass on the straight. So, you know, I knew if he got by me and it was the last lap scenario, I'd probably be able to get him. But yeah, I mean, to answer your question, I think it was more just a natural thing. There wasn't one thing specifically that allowed me to build the gap. You know, I think once I got past Daniel and him and Carl started fighting, that was really kind of what did it for me. Not so much what I did, but what they started doing.
Well, next week we head to Okayama here in the F3 Championship. Are you confident at Okayama, or are you looking to try and go back-to-back here on the broadcast?
We'll see. It's not really a track I've run that much. I am familiar with it, though. So we'll have to see how it plays out. I don't think it's one that F3 Official Series visits super often. So it'll be interesting to see how it races. I'm excited about it, though.
Anyone else you would like to thank here on Apex Racing TV?
Yeah, I got to thank the team, Delta Sports. I think we had a pretty good showing overall today. And the team sponsors, Move Up Transportation Solutions, 3M USA, Race Factory, Unified for Kids, and Get Stuck. I also want to thank the Apex Racing Academy for sponsoring the series, and you guys at Apex Racing TV for broadcasting it. Thanks, guys.
Thank you very much, David Holland, your race winner here from Road America. And Alessandro is going to be standing by with second place, his teammate, Carl Modoff.
Yeah, Carl, how are you doing? Great race, exceptional teamwork today.
Hey guys, I'm doing good. That was a lot of fun. That was kind of interesting. You guys asked last week about the difference in downforce, and I think we saw it kind of play out where I had a little downforce and massive straight line speed, but couldn't quite carry enough apex speed to get away. And The other guys were a lot faster through the infield, but was not quite enough to get away, and I'd be able to pull them back in down the straight. So that was a good race. Lots of fun. I would have liked to have been able to get David there at the line for 1-2 finish the other way, but still a good result for the team and a lot of fun.
Was there a bit of teamwork in the making during this race, or did the race just play out as it happened?
It just plays out pretty much how it happens. You know, we all usually mute our mics. You know, during a race like that, you just really want to make sure you're concentrated on 100% focus. So we're aware of who our teammates are. So we're not going to race them a little bit different. And if I can give him a tow versus someone else, I will. But there's definitely no planning. It's just kind of like, okay, that's a friend. I'll treat him a little more, you know, kindly on the track than everyone else. But we're all racers, and even though we run the same livery for the same team and want the same results, we you know, want to race each other fair and hard.
Next week we go to Japan, a track we are not really used to see in the Formula 3 series that I'm aware of. So do you have any experience there with open wheelers, or just normal rookie licenses races?
Yeah, I'm not too much in for experience with the F3 car, but a lot of experience in the GTE and then the LMP2. I did quite a bit of driving there last season, and the Dallara, the new LMP2 car. So I think it's going to be a really awesome track for these cars. It's a really fun track, has a really good flow, and then these cars you could follow closely enough where I think the racing will be pretty good. You have a long straightaway. And 2 long straightaways where you can make some passes happen. So I think it'll be a lot of fun. Hopefully some good back and forth racing, and yeah, some top level stuff.
Before we let you go, Carl, anybody you would like to thank?
Yeah, I just want to thank the sponsors for our team: Move Up Transportation Solutions, Freem USA, Race Factory, United for Kids, and Get Stuck, and then just friends, family for tuning in, and for you guys for being here. Thanks.
Thank you very much, Carl. I hope to see you back in the booth next week. As we have time still for a quick interview with Alex Dunn. Joshua?
Well, Alex Dunn, unfortunately, you had an amazing start to the day, and that's where I want to start real quick, because you were racing up front. We saw you trading for the lead. How was it to be up there, not only racing in the front, but making those moves and racing cleanly up at the front as well?
Yeah, I think I didn't have the best of qualies, but luckily I still qualified P4, but I knew that it was going to be a hard race because there was quite a lot of good drivers in this one, and I fought my way to P1, and I felt for most of the race that I probably had the best pace out of everyone, but I think just the slipstream here is so strong, so it was impossible to get away. And then I tried to make a move on David Holland, and Danny Uncadella just drove into the back of me, which gave me rear wing damage, which kind of ended my race there.
And you fell down the order, and you did the best you could back there. But then towards the end, you had some contact with, I believe it was the 4, Flavio Dantas. What exactly happened there? Could you have done anything different? Do you think Flavio could have done anything different going down into turn 12?
I think I was in P8 at the time, and I defended my position, and Flavio just completely outbroke himself and drove into the back of me. So it was a bit of a silly move from his side, but these things happen, so it's not the end of the world, I guess.
Oh, you pack it up and head into next week. Okayama, are you confident at that track? Like we've been discussing here in the post race, it's not really a track that we're used to seeing these F3 cars go to. So do you have a lot of experience there outside of maybe the rookie Mazda class?
Yeah, I've driven there in a few different cars. I'm fairly confident with that track as well.
Well, we hope to see you here next week on the broadcast. Anyone else you'd like to thank?
I'd like to thank my parents, everyone at 3D Rap Squadra Corsa, and Lorenzo Del Rio.
Well, thank you very much, Alex Dunn. Your interview there on post-race, he came home in the 16th spot after some contact on the final lap. But Alessandro, what a race today from Road America. What are you expecting when we head into Okayama next week? Because it's another unique track. We're going from a street circuit to a long, sweeping, almost speedway-type road course into some more tight corners of Okayama. What are you looking forward to?
Well, definitely it's gonna be a different racing for sure, because we don't really have these big straights or any walls on the side. Okayama is definitely a track where it's gonna be more difficult to pass, but we have these big backstretch and hairpin with a big braking zone coming up, which will definitely give drivers the chance for some passes. It will be interesting to see how the racing develops. I'm sure we will have plenty of new drivers for that week, considering it's a iRacing free track. So if anybody wants to try this car, remember to put also the Apex Racing Academy logo on your F3 car or whatever car in the service. Remember that if you run 10 races during the official season, you will be automatically entered for a draw at the end of it.
And with all the exciting action we happened today, we do need to thank a few sponsors who helped put this series on, as we had no opportunity throughout the entire mid part of that race. Starting out with Apex Racing Academy, the title sponsor of this series. With 29 data packs, they have setups, track guides, weekly group coaching sessions, and more, and it's all integrated with Virtual Racing School. We'll also send you to a few sponsor messages before the stream closes out, but we're going to send you over there right now. For Alessandro Dalladone, Marco Barbanera, I am Josh Lee. Thank you for tuning in, and we're saying good night from Road America.
Virtual Racing School was developed to provide support to the next generation of sim racers. No matter if you're a rookie or veteran or what car or track you'll be racing, our goal is to provide training every step of the way. We found that iRacing can be quite difficult without proper training. There needed to be a way to prepare for on-track racing. With VRS, you can literally learn from the best sim racers in the world, including 4-time NASCAR iRacing World Champion Ray Alfala.
And Ray Alfala is a 4-time champion of the NASCAR Peak Antifreeze iRacing Series.
3-time iRacing Grand Prix World Champion Martin Kroenke.
Martin Kroenke becomes a 3-time world champion.
Rallycross World Champion Mitchell de Jong.
Mitchell de Jong is now champion for the iRacing Rallycross World Championship Series.
And many other top sim racers. Data packs include everything you need to start learning. Our World Championship coaches create the data packs by setting a hot lap or a series of fast laps for you to compare, analyze, and replicate. Data packs also include a tutorial where the coach points out techniques they use to hit the fast lap. This gives you access to the latest driving techniques and setups before you even hit the track. Sign up for a free account and download the VRS telemetry logger. With this application running seamlessly in the background, your laps automatically start syncing to the VRS website. From there, you can analyze and compare 2 laps of your choice, whether it's your data, the coaches, or your teammates. VRS will automatically target improvement opportunities so you can get up to speed even faster. VRS also makes it easy for you to request and schedule one-on-one or group coaching sessions. These sessions can range from 30 to 90 minutes, and you can select the car, track, and setup combination of your choice. Visit virtualracingschool.com today to sign up and get started.